I'm from Tokyo, Japan, and grew up in London, England, and Tokyo.
How long did you split your time back and forth between the two?
No, I was born in Japan, grew up there until I was 5, then moved to London for my dad's work, and then lived there for 3 years, I think, and went back to Japan. So most of my life has been in Japan.
And how have those two cities influenced you musically?
Musically, I'm not sure. I would say that a lot of my musical influence probably comes from Japanese traditional music, and I played my violin throughout the time I lived in London and before that. So I never thought about that. Thank you. I'll think about it.
It's okay. Do you have like early childhood memories of like music in Tokyo?
Music and I was 3. It goes into why I started playing the violin, but my mum asked me what I wanted for my birthday when I was 3. I was turning 4, and I said a violin because I just had this image of an orchestra playing in my head since I was 3. So that's how I got the violin, started playing, and been playing ever since.
So you were the one that was like that asked for the violin. It wasn't your parents.
No, not at all. They weren't really imposing anything on me. It was just pure interest on my part, and yeah. I didn't really like practicing. I just liked listening to the sound of it, I think, playing and listening to the sound of it. So yeah, my teacher was always like, you're very you have so much emotional and romanticism, and you just need to practice more on the technique. So
that's pretty awesome that like you were at that age and you wanted to do that yourself.
Yeah, I was very expressive, I think. So yeah, it came out that way.
How did you know what an orchestra was at that age? Was there something you saw?
I think so. I think my parents took me to concerts just out of their interest and not really to kind of instill that in me, but I just went and listened to music a lot and probably saw some stuff on TV, and yeah, I don't remember why, but I just had a very specific, I still remember like a cello player and a violinist in an orchestra. It's like a close-up of them in an orchestra playing, and yeah, so.
That's very cool. Do you feel like it came natural to you? Was it something that you easily picked up, or did it take a lot of work?
It probably did in the beginning, and it always is, I would say. But since I've been doing it for this long, it's just become part of me. It's an extension of who I am. So now it's effortless, I feel.
That's really good. Could you maybe just say that statement one more time, just how it's kind of a part of you since you've been doing it for so long?
Oh, well, I've been playing it for such a long time now, most of my life now. So it's just become a big part of me, and it's just an extension of who I am and how I express myself. So.
Perfect. I think a lot of kids take music lessons when they're younger, especially more traditional instruments, but a lot of them don't continue playing. Why do you feel like it was something that stuck with you?
For me, because I wasn't forced to. There was nobody really forcing me to keep doing it, and.
So can you start that saying by like, I think I continued playing because I wasn't forced to?
I think I was able to just be passionate and continue playing for all these years because nobody ever really forced it on me, and it was always my choice, and I had the urge to play, and it was available to me, so I was able to just keep on playing and keep on loving it.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Was there any specific musicians or bands that influenced you from a young age?
Definitely. So I started violin playing classical. Excuse me.
It's okay.
And then gradually I got into other kind of music, and when I was 14 I started taking jazz vocal lessons. I started singing, and then I got into jazz, and the album that really had an impact on me was Waltz for Debbie by Bill Evans, and also around the same time I started listening to the Beatles. So those two had a Beatles Rubber Soul. It's my favorite album still to this day. I listened to those 2 CDs since I was 14. More like around when I was 14, 15, that was on my, we used to have those CD players. It was on it all the time, I feel. And for me, jazz was such a discovery because being in the classical world for 10 years, I was playing in an orchestra, playing solo, both things, and then it was such an eye-opener that something could be so structured but free and beautiful. So that album, yeah, kind of opened up a whole new door for me, that it didn't have to be this written piece that had to be perfect. Like, I guess listening to jazz made me realize that beauty is in the imperfections, sort of. So, yeah.